Hi, 𝑘𝙃𝑃3𝑖𝑖 recapped here. Today I'm going to explain an American horror thriller film called The Oder. Spoilers ahead, watch out, and take care. The movie begins outside, where two students appear to be hang gliding before school starts. When they walk in, an assembly is announced on the speakers. It appears as any normal assembly, until Z, one of the students from earlier, turns and gets jump scared by a strange person. Later, it is revealed that the scary girl from earlier is Jenny. A student was known for getting banned at her other servers. Pan, Z's friend from earlier, plays it off, but Z obviously still has some concerns about Jenny. While the movie progresses, it appears Jenny is always watching him, although no one seems to believe anything he says when Z tries to reach out for help. When the day ends, Z grabs something from his locker before getting jump scared by Jenny again. He gets chased all the way to his dorm and tries to sleep it off, but Jenny seems to follow him in his dreams too. Pan comes in the next morning and invites Z to go camping, but it soon turns into an argument ending with Pan leaving. Z eventually does decide on going with them. Suddenly, Z goes missing on the trip and isn't seen until the next day at school with Jenny. To which Z hesitantly admits that Jenny and himself are dating. It isn't until they are alone when Z tells Pan everything. He speaks out on how he tried to avoid Jenny, but she continued to follow him even into different servers. They begin doing investigations into Jenny, and find her on a news site. But they are quickly interrupted by Jenny and her asthma attack, since that's all she seems to do. We later see Z and Pan setting a trap for Jenny, but it fails as Jenny is already one step ahead of them. Man, how was she able to hear their plans with all that loud breathing she makes? Then suddenly on their getaway, Jenny transforms. She grows taller and older, because she's actually Granny. Yes, Granny from that one game.
Granny's house.
Turns out the plan didn't fail, as Chad puts a stop to Jenny and they perform an exorcism on Jenny. Though, Z disappears alongside with Jenny, because Z sold his soul to her. Every time he comes back, he attracts more odors, which sent the group running to hide. Chad offers to be bait, because he secretly wants to gain the same power as Z. Next thing they know, Jenny is listening in and the camera cuts to a reporter interviewing people about odors. In the next scene, Z and Pan are in a different town after Chad sacrificed himself. They apply to a new school, which is strangely suspicious. Turns out they have separate classes too, which leads Z to faking being disappointed. But behind that face, there's something real sinister. After school, they leave for home and Pan starts experiencing what happened to Z in the beginning. But she thinks of it as a dream. Z and Pan discuss the odor outbreak that was mentioned in the radio, and begin to look for the station. They break in and to their surprise the woman knows their identities. She's hesitant at first, but then explains that the odors probably won't be going anywhere anytime soon and takes them to an undisclosed location. The radio woman shows them odor she had been experimenting on and asks Z to walk up to it. When he does, it reacts. Because he is the core of all the odors. He is what gives power and life into them. When they are back in school, they find Chad again. But he seems different because he has that red blush. Who else has that red blush? Pikachu. Chad is Pikachu.
Who's that Pokemon?
Chad is now leading them into a sewer system, to where Z and Pan both get trapped.
No, Chad wouldn't do that to us. He's our friend, he wouldn't do that.
Pan is in denial but is slapped back to reality when they have to start running from an odor. They run into a bunch of odors, looking like a meat city party right now. Eventually they escape by swimming through the 𝘾𝙃𝘼𝙿 gelatin cake. If you look closely, an odor named 𝘏𝙃𝘼𝙿 is chasing them. So not only do we have Granny and Pikachu, but we also have 𝘾𝙃𝘼𝙿𝘍. But wait. Just as soon as they thought they were safe, Wanda and red-dressed girl's love child sees them. Now all of the odors have sold their souls to Jenny because they too are also able to turn into Granny. They take their rainbow light-up keyboard and drive away from the school to the radio station. The radio lady, Annabeth, takes them up, but it isn't too soon until the odors start knocking at the door. The plot has turned from online daters to 𝘾𝙃𝘼𝙿 babies.
Get the fuck off my porch! Get your ass off this motherfucking porch, bitch!
Z recites the exorcism into the mic to have the message played across Roblox, and the odors seem to disappear. It's announced that odors are gone for the most part, but someone takes Pan too.
Is that the Grim Reaper?
The man appears to be 𝙒𝙃𝘼𝙏𝘼.
It's every day, bro, with the Disney Channel flow.
Jake has brainwashed Pan, and when Z tries to use the exorcism, it doesn't work. Chad and Z leave to the Bloxburg server. That starter home is giving me bad memories of the guy who would stand outside your house all the time. A strange man pulls up and tells them to get in their car. He appears to be a scientist, and tells the two about some crowns he kept losing. He tells them to look for someone named 𝘾𝙃𝘼𝙏𝘼. When they arrive, this red-headed girl is about to crack a Joe Mama joke, but instead she takes them to Joe's dorm. Except he's not in there, and he's not showing up anywhere they look. Chad has to take a dump but is rudely interrupted by this movie star Planet Myth. And that's about it for her, because later Chad and Z just continue on like nothing happened. Guess she just wanted to do some co-op pooping. Z and Chad are later in their rooms, when Joe just busts in. Joe shows them his vlog he made when there was the whole outbreak with the odors. Dang boy, you breathing heavier than Jenny. Maybe they should just start handing out inhalers instead of giving exorcisms. He quickly catches 𝘾𝙃𝘼𝙏𝘼 on camera before running off, and zooming in to get that great quality footage. The video Joe shows ends and he gives Z a necklace. Joe tells him that if he wears the necklace with the crown everything can be reversed. Z and Chad go to bed, but Chad is awoken by a noise outside his room. Turns out it's just the girl from earlier, Katie. She tells them that something happened to Joe and leads them to a waterfall. When they get there, they see all these copies of Jenny. I guess the adopt birth update really was true. Apparently they were just turning Katie into an odor. And in order to do so, they start humming like strawberry shortcake from that one 𝘾𝙃𝘼𝘿𝑗 video.
I'm sorry, Shaki.
The two fly away, and split up to make it harder for the odors to catch them. And of course Chad gets caught cause he's breathing too loud. You know what? Here, just take it. Oh, and Z also gets caught. They wake up and Pan walks in wanting to play some Squid Game. As Chad and Z prepare to play a game of hide and seek with the odors, they say their goodbyes in case they don't make it. Both of them decide to hide with some rocks alongside a stranger. And golly gee, these odors run fast.
Go stupid! Go crazy!
The two watch the stranger from earlier get caught but are able to quickly escape. The next day, Z leaves to look around. He almost gets caught again but somehow doesn't. Later, he returns to Chad with some jetpacks. Z ends up having his jetpack break and Chad gives up his to save Z. He flies into Pan and knocks her crown off. After reconciling, Pan and Z make a plan to finally end the odor problem. King Oder and Z meet together, and the king launches an attack to send out odors. When Z goes in for an attack, he's quickly punched in the gut and on the ground. Z is slowly transformed into a odor, kinda like with those old Roblox morphs that would make your head square. Pan is then seen on the roof, and tosses the necklace onto the Oder King, which reverse all the effects he had on people. The two run around and find King Oder again, but this time he looks like a child. The story took quite the realistic turn. In the last scene, Z and Pan are heading to class before Pan turns to the camera and says yeah, it's finally over. But she still has that sparkle in her eye. Because she's actually
Twilight sparkle, princesa brillante, Fluttershy, dulce y amable, Applejack, le gusta el campo. Rarity es un encanto. Pinky.
Hey ladies, drop it down. Just wanna see you touch the ground. Don't be shy, girl, go bonanza. Shake your body like a belly dancer.